pick 'em pop, big gun Brian Petrie, giving out the lot. One is mortal, you know it won't miss. Gonna take a shot, dog lock, that's the underdog. Yeah, they in the hunt, send them home, that's KO or submission. Yeah, somebody done, slime ball, yeah, that's the parlay. We gon' make it known, pick 'em pop from MMA takes. Yeah, let's get it going.
Welcome to the MMA Takes podcast. We're pre-recorded. Yeah, we're pre-recorded. Was going to throw a live up, and you know what? I got some shit to talk about. And if this dumb brain can remember to put a timestamp in, I will to let you know when the fights talk, because I got to talk about Chicago. Chi City, baby. Chi City. I'm rocking the jersey again. If you saw me, Anakin Florian, wore on there. It's Connor Bedard. I paid $250 for it. So I'm going to wear it as much as I can. I'm on my Happy Gilmore shit right now, okay? It is unbelievable comfy. Loose sleeves. I feel amazing. And this is one of the best logos in all sports, right? I was a hockey fan as a kid. I had season tickets to the Cincinnati Cyclones. They were not in the NHL. They're in the IHL, which was a step below. They were a farm league for the Panthers for a while. I believe the Philadelphia Flyers for a while was their farm teams. But no, I haven't been on the hockey grind in a while because the old Cincinnati does not have a professional team. But I might make the Blackhawks my team. You know, I got no allegiance. Might make them a team because this fucking fits me like a glove. Welcome to the show. We got UFC China. I'm going to be doing that a lot. I'm not a Trumper per se. I'm not a political guy at all. I don't hate. And, you know, I'm not on either side, right? But you got to admit, regardless of how you feel about it, him going China is hilarious. Sir, why do you calling it the Chinese virus? Because it comes from China. Like, that shit's funny as fuck. But yeah, we got China this weekend, babe. We got China. We got locks. We got plays. You know what I mean? 3 a.m. wake up call. 3 a.m. wake up call. Ooh, I mean, I've been waking up at 5 a.m. for 9 years. Well, longer than that. I've been waking up earlier than 5 a.m. Monday through Friday for 18 years. I have never worked a job where I've had to sleep past 5:30. 5:30, 5:20-ish maybe is the limit for me. I like to get to work early. Back in the day, though, I was working at like 2, 3 in the morning. So obviously wake up call was way different. So, but yeah, Chicago. So China early, Chicago, pretty fun, pretty amazing. Had an awesome time with the wife. You guys, if you're not a member of the 3PC community, this podcast is brought by 3punchcombo.com. Go sign up. We got a ton of fighters in there. Me Machine, Steve Garcia's posting. We got Aloe Joban. We got Matt Steamroller Favola. We got to get his dad in there too. I mean, the bulldozer Sal is the man. We got to get him in the chat as well. But we have fighters lining up as we speak, fighters commenting and engaging with the community as we speak. And we have fighters that are lined up, that ready. All they got to do is sign the dotted line. And we'll get them in there. And it's very, very exciting stuff. But I did make like kind of a quick little recap of my Chicago trip. I was going to do a podcast. I didn't want to put 2 out this week. I figured I would record it, tell you a little bit about the trip. But I don't want to repeat myself too much on what I said on 3PC if you were there. But Chicago's got great food. And I think I beefed it. I think I legit fucked it up because wife and I take my beautiful daughter to school. We take my other beautiful daughter to the grandma's, and then we hit the road. We don't eat. It's a 4.5 hour drive for us, and we don't eat. We want to eat when we get to Chicago. And we want, the Chicago staples. We want, come on. It says Mike's muted. No one muted the mic, bitch. Now we're back. StreamYard. Anyway, on the audio side, you didn't see that. It's all on the video side. So we go to a place called Portillo's, which is very well known in the Chicago area. And it just wasn't that good, right? I'm a chili connoisseur, right? I like all kinds of chili, Cincinnati style chili, Tex-Mex chili. I make probably the best chili in the world. So I love chili. So I got to try the chili. Any place you got a chili, I'm trying. Bottom line. You got a chili, I'm trying it, and I'm rating it. And Portillo's was not good. It was like a sweeter Tex-Mex chili, which is like the worst kind of chili. I know it's a hot dog chili, so they got to make it a little sweet. I know Skyline's sweet. People think it's sweet because there's chocolate and cinnamon in it. Yeah, but that's a different kind of category. When you got beans and you got tomatoes and you got you want some spice to it and it's sweet. Get the fuck out of here. Burger was a Burger King burger. Didn't like it. Hurt my stomach and hurt my wife's stomach as well. But we did that. And then, we just had a really good time in Chicago. My wife and I spent some wonderful time together. The 3PC guys, if you see in this lower corner here where my hand's at, that card right there, we were greeted in our hotel room with that card and a bottle of champagne from those guys who are just first fucking class. Blew me away. I don't drink alcohol, but my wife had a couple mimosas. She enjoyed herself a lot. Citizen M Hotel, great spot, great hotel. And it was very cozy, very quaint. The bed's huge. The pillows are comfortable. The TV's right there. Everything's controlled by an iPad. Shower's awesome. Wasn't the most crazy expensive hotel there was, but it was very nice, very clean, very modern, trendy. Loved it because when I was looking at hotels, there were some hotels that were $600, $700, $800 for 2 nights. This one I think was like $500, so like $250 a night, which was right in the middle of the road, and it was great. It's not the biggest room, but we don't need a lot. Just my wife and I. Obviously, the fights were great. The main event was a little slow. Obviously, the main event. My big takeaway of the main event wasn't. It wasn't the best fight in the world. It's not like I'm out of my feet, up out of my seat cheering. Right. I explained the shitty person next to me, next to my wife, next to the couple that was next to me. The other couple on the right side of me, they were from South Africa, and they were really heartbroken when DDP did not perform well and took that L. I could tell, she stood up. The woman stood up pretty much the entire time with her hands on her hips and couldn't believe what she was seeing. Slow pace fight. Khamzat Chimaev, obviously, he's not going to win a ton of people over that performance, but he dominated, right? And when you're DDP and when you're DDP's coaches and you're talking all that shit before the fight, like we're not gonna shy away from his wrestling. We're gonna beat the fuck out of him in his wrestling. That was one. 2, DDP says, yeah, he's gonna take me down. I'm gonna get up. I mean, you did get up, but man, you cannot get him off you, dude. And you got put in a crucifix like 5 times and you cannot get out of it. The only thing you did good in that position was bury your head so you didn't take like super clean shots. You could not get out of it. A lot of those grappling exchanges, and I guess I can't fault him, were because DDP played it safe. He didn't explode to his feet. He didn't turn into him. He's afraid of getting choked out. He's afraid of getting submitted. I forget what MMA personality or former fighter said that this week. They're 100% right. He fought to not get finished. There's positions on the ground that he knew if he did a certain thing, if he took a couple chances, he could have got up. But again, high risk, high reward. There's a good chance you're going to get put back down again. I was actually flabbergasted, is a word I don't use much. I'm going to use it here, at how bad his defensive wrestling was. His takedown defense was trash. Like he sprawled when he had time later in the fight and he sprawled, he got his hips out. Technically, that's good. But everyone knows if you watch tape on Chimaev, it's the second and third shot that will get you. And he got taken down every time off those second and third shots. His takedown offense was abysmal. And that was shocking to me. Someone who had DDP, someone who had money on DDP, that was a little embarrassing. But I'm not shitting on Chimaev. A lot of people want to shit on Chimaev's performance. Wasn't the best. He didn't inflict a lot of damage. He went out there and he won the belt, right? With dominating wrestling, went 5 rounds, did not get tired, and yet used his style that got him there and proved to people that, hey, I can go 5 rounds and I'm the best grappler in this division. I'm going to prove it, right? And I think he did. So what's next? I mean, I think the winner of RDR, Fluffy, which got announced for Vancouver, that should be next. I know you got Imanov and you got Cabarello in France. I know a lot of the winners think they should get next. 185 is interesting. Chimaev's probably not going to return this year. I know people think he's going to turn around in October and go to Abu Dhabi. Not going to happen. He will fight probably next year and he'll fight, one of those guys. If you had gun to my head, who I think he should fight, who I think has earned it, Fluffy, with all those wins he had and how good he looked against Elite. I know he doesn't have the biggest scalps on his record, but not undefeated in the UFC, but 8-9 fight win streak, domination his last time out. That style versus Chimaev style, I need to see. RDR is interesting. This is a cat that was double champion outside the UFC, has looked flawless inside the UFC. He'd be really good. Borello, a lot of people think he deserves it. I think he'll get smoked by Chimaev, and I think Imanov will get smoked by Chimaev as well. I mean, I'm not saying those guys don't deserve it. I just think both those fighters, Borello and Imanov, are going to get absolutely cooked to the bone by Chimaev. I think Fluffy and RDR, they might get cooked too, but I think they have a better shot. All right. But Chicago is amazing. The 99.9% of the crowd was dope. It was cool. The United Center's big. It's awesome. I enjoyed myself. I didn't hate the main event. I was in Nashville where Rob Font fought Corey Sandhagen, which was a really bad main event. I was pretty sour of that main event, if I'm being honest with you. I was like, the tickets were free, so I wasn't super upset, but the main event lacked. This main event, obviously it lacked, but there's some pure domination there. There's something you got to respect out of that. You don't really see guys just get grapple fucked nowadays and can't do anything, especially a champion like DDP. And I think he got exposed in there, and I think Chimaev went 5 rounds grappling heavy and, did it. I don't love what he said at the end there. He said, "Fuck this belt, give me my money." Don't diminish the belt, bro. You're the champion. Yeah, you're going to get paid, but you're going to get paid more now because of that belt. So, but other than that, Chicago's amazing. I could go down negative roads and talk about the guy that did enough to me. I told him to watch his fucking mouth, and it got a little tense and awkward between us because he was yelling the most obscene stuff. But I would never in my life repeat what he said, right? So it's not like I can't really dance around the subject when we talk about it. He was a low-life piece of shit, and it makes me feel bad because what does that say about me? Listen, I paid $830 for those seats, right? It was like $1,700, but obviously got two, one for me, one for my wife. It was like $1,700 for those seats, plus traveling, plus everything, right? And my fandom isn't good enough, or it's the same level as this guy because he paid the same amount as me, presumably. Like, what? Why would you pay that much money and be that ignorant of a sport? He clearly doesn't know much about the sport, and he's an ignorant drunk yelling the most horrible things at somebody, because they're wrestling in a fight. What are we doing here? I felt bad because I'm like, I'm on the same level as this guy. I mean, listen, I'm a middle-class dude. I ain't, $1,700 is a lot of fucking money. And what? I'm sitting next to this guy? Ugh. But luckily, the South Africans next to me were lovely people. All right, let's get to the fights, huh? By the way, stick around if you like people butchering names. Because boy, oh boy, do we got some fucking names on here that I'm going to butcher. First fight of the night, we got Yaron Sadibayev versus Dayar Nurgose. Dayar versus Yaron. Yaron's minus 148. Dayar is plus 124. Man. Yeah, you listen, Dayar's is the chubby. What part of the world is he from? He's from a stan, right? Well, it doesn't come up for me. But this guy, one knockout in the Contender Series, threw wild, fought kind of a middle of the road guy. He probably should have been in the Contender Series. Probably got a contract. Don't know if he got a contract or not. It looks like he turned around pretty quickly, so he probably got a contract. But then he gets submitted by Benson Ribeiro. Benson Ribeiro is not very good, and you got submitted by him. You went for 2 takedowns. You got your fucking arm taken by Kimura. Then you get Yaron here, who lost to Martin Boudet up at heavyweight. Now, this is at 205. Boudet, I know he got cut from the UFC, but he was not booty. Boudet was not booty. He was a guy that won a lot of fights, that was a big body dude that was hard to get out of there, hard to move, and clearly Yaron being undersized. Now that he's at 205 here, he's 6'4", 205. It's not like a small man, but 205 is obviously his right weight class. Give me Yaron at minus 142. I don't love it. I don't know much about these guys. If I'm being honest with you, I remember seeing both of them fight. I obviously went back and looked at them. Nothing really stands out to me. Yaron with the Martin Boudet fight was just kind of whatever. Dayar losing to Benson Ribeiro, completely gassing out. has some power, has some grappling ability to an extent, but will just completely fade as the fight goes. Give me the guy with a little bit of cardio, and that's Iran. Give me -142 for the, where is he from? They don't say. His nickname's Gorilla, which is fucking cool. I don't like to pull up Tapology because it fucks up my computer, so I don't know where he's from. It looks like he's from, I don't know my flags all that well, but on my paper, it looks like it's China, but I don't think it's China. That's a different kind of flag. Turkish, maybe? Don't know. You tell me in the chat where he's from. He's going to win. Next up, Long Zhao or Zhao Long versus Sun Yong Yu. I do not know how they do that in China. Do they do the last name first or the first name first, or what's going on? Long Zhao versus Sun Yong Yu. We got Korea versus China here. Long Zhao. This is what I love about what they do with these Chinese fighters. So they're really trying to break in the Chinese market, the UFC. And they're giving guys a lot of chances. I mean, they're doing this road to the UFC. They got a UFC PI Institute. I mean, there's some crazy stuff in Japan where there's like a camp where you can grow up like learning to fight. Like if you can get dropped off there as a kid or whatever. Listen to Bookie Beatdown, Cody and Paul explain that. I didn't know that. That was a nice little tidbit of information about some of these fighters on this card that came from this camp where they're like, we'll feed you, we'll bathe you and clothe you and give you a roof over your head, but you're going to fucking fight for us, which is crazy, right? But yeah, so China obviously has its culture, but they're still looking for a guy. Was Joseon, this just came to my head, was Joseon back in the early UFC days, was he Chinese? Right? Because this is a fucking guy who came to the cage early UFC days with a cross on his back. Cross became too big to bear and he fell over. Too much, he collapsed. I had to get this cross off my back. Then I think he fights Keith Hackney and gets his balls and dick just destroyed. No longer there. Mashed potatoes with his little tiny underwear. Then I think he did some kickboxing matches, and then he was in Austin Powers. He was a dude that threw the shoe. Remember that guy? You know, the guy, the assassin bad guy who threw shoes and like cut the head off a mannequin or whatever. Who throws a shoe, honestly? And then now I think he's a piece of shit though. He's like a murderer. I think he's got life in prison. Oh, here he is right here. Is he Chinese? Because I'm hoping, I haven't clicked on it yet. I'm hoping he does not represent the Chinese culture because Chinese MMA is still very new. He's Korean. Thank God. Korean. Okay. So not Chinese. But anyway, back to this fight. Long Zhao, what I love is they throw him on the Contender Series, not ready. Let's throw him back in the road to the UFC. Right? I think he wins at the road to the UFC, loses his debut, looked pretty good against Kwang Lee, won by knockout. This guy does have some powers. His first knockout in the UFC was in the third round, so it was more of an accumulative damage. And then Su Yong Yu, again, these Korean guys that are coming up, man, solid grapplers. And Su, here we go. Here we go. Take two. Su Yong Yu is a phenomenal grappler. He's good. He's maybe a little boring, you know, but his road to the UFC, 4 takedowns. Second fight, 8 takedowns against probably for the road to UFC title, 2 takedowns, 42 strikes, domination, 5 takedowns against AJ Cunningham. But if you're not finishing AJ Cunningham, I can't put you on a certain level yet. However, Yo-Jitsu was his nickname. I'm going to go with him. All right, my sound pad's not working. There it is. Goddamn sound pad. I think it's Slimeball Canada as well. I just think he's gonna wrestle Long Zhao, grappling wins in situations like this. Give it to me. Next up, you got Yinza. Listen, there's a couple guys on this card who just have one name. Yinza, pretty fucking cool, versus Weston Wilson. Weston Wilson from South Carolina. This boy is, listen, he fought Joanderson Brito, got knocked out. Then he fought Jean Silva, got knocked out. Then he fought Jekka Sari and submitted him with a triangle armbar. Weston Wilson, long-rangey guy with a little bit of karate because he trains with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. 6'1" for 145 is pretty tall. Not the youngest guy going, right? 1 and 2 in the UFC, but he's been put out by 2 absolute fucking killer powerhouses. He is plus 750. And then you got Yinza, who is road to the UFC. He's been in the road to UFC twice. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Road to the UFC, he lost in the finals his first time. Then he goes, oh, let's throw him back in there. You know what I mean? They're just going to keep recycling these guys over and over and over again. But listen, he's got some decent wins on the ground. He's got a good armbar, good submission game. Wants to grapple, wants to wrestle. But, minus 1,200 line is absurd. I refuse to play it. I refuse to pick it. Give me Weston Wilson. Give me the fucking American who's got a little bit of striking, who proved to have a little bit off his back. Plus 750 on Weston Wilson. Me picking that, I will sleep well tonight. I will never, in this fucking beautiful world we have here, I will never pick Yenza minus 1,200. That is crazy. I know Weston Wilson's not good. I'm not going to hype Weston Wilson up like he's this fucking world beater, future title challenger. He is coming off a win. He's got that weird kind of karate style. His chin's no good, but he's lost to fucking 2 solid dudes, and you're hanging 750 on me. Yeah, dude, I'm going Weston Wilson. I don't even, I put sub KO here. I'm just going to take him by money line. I mean, sure, the subs and the KO props are probably nuts. Let's just the tickle the old curiosity bug. Weston Wilson by KO is plus 2,800. Weston Wilson by submissions plus 1,400. Weston Wilson by decision plus 2,500. So listen, I'm going money line. I'm going Weston Wilson, and goddamn it, I'm gonna fucking probably touch one of those props as well. I mean, those are just too juicy not to fucking pass. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing? You gotta touch at least a little bit of those against a guy named Yenza, who I don't think is the world beater. Give me Weston Wilson. All right, next up, Michelle Pereira. Minus 265 versus Kyle Dawkins. The returning Kyle Dawkins, plus 215, plus 220 now. Kyle Dawkins looked really good against Kevin Holland before the headbutt. You remember the headbutt incident, but he looked really good in that fight. And then he's looked really well outside the UFC. It's just like when he was in the UFC, he kind of fell apart a little bit, right? So loses to Brandon Allen, which was a scrap, which is actually a really fun fight. I love that fight against Brandon Allen. Then he beats Austin Stolfoots, where he just looks okay. Loses to Phil Hawes, which is a rough one because Phil Hawes has no chin. You put a couple punches on Phil Hawes, he's going to fucking fold. And Kyle Dawkins couldn't do that. No contest, Kevin Holland, fight that I thought he should have won. Jamie Pickett win, and then Dolite puts him out, and Eric Anders puts him out. The Anders one, obviously, an older guy in Anders is pretty rough. Michelle Pierre, this is his first time coming back. Second time. He's lost 2 in a row. Anthony Hernandez got him in an absolute shellacking. And then Abus Magomedov, where he fought super timid and didn't let anything go, which was surprising. Kyle Dawkins is taking this fight on relatively short notice. Plus 215 isn't the worst number I've seen on Kyle Dawkins, but I just got to feel like Pereira is going to throw some crazy shit. He's tough to take down, right? I mean, Fluffy got him down 10 times, but Kyle Dawkins is not fluffy. Kyle Dawkins does have a decent ground game. He's got long arms. His chokes are pretty good, but he's going to probably have to stand up with Pereira here. And I just, I don't like his odds on that. However, I will say this, though. Pereira has looked pretty, he was on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fight win streak. And his last 2 fights have not looked so good. The Boost fight was, I guess, close-ish, but not really. And then he absolutely got mauled by Fluffy, which is no disrespect there. I mean, you're losing to Fluffy, you're losing the best in the world. So I can see how people are going to spin it. I can see how people are going to like the Kyle Dawkins plus 215. It's not the worst line in the world. I'm going to go Pietro. I believe in him. I think that spinning shit, I think something powerful is going to come. I don't trust Dawkins' chin just yet. I like that he's back in the UFC. I think it's where he belongs because he took his lickings in the UFC, had some ugly losses, went outside the UFC, kept grinding, kept fighting, won. I think he maybe won a belt outside the UFC. That's what you're supposed to do. He never quit, never gave up on himself. I like that. I just don't know if I like his chin. So give me Michelle Pereira. And maybe by KO. What is Pereira by KO? Let's discuss. Because he needs it. If anybody needs it, it's Pereira at this point. By KO plus 130. Yeah, I could probably get there. Plus 225 by decision is also on the table, I think. I mean, doesn't, just because Kyle Dawkins got knocked out his last 2 times. It means he had to get immediately slept. So we'll see. Give me PA. Next up, Rongju, minus 270 versus Austin Thud Hubbard. Plus 220 for Thud Hubbard. He's plus 210 now. Thud. I'm not falling for the Austin Hubbard trap. I'm not doing it. I lost my shirt. I lost a lot of money. That put me in the biggest hole in the Anakin Florian main event challenges when I picked Cody Steele over Rongju. I'm not falling for that. I play Austin Hubbard by a dog so much. Last week, Mitch and Joe were predicting my moves. I've become predictable with my dog plays. People probably tuned in and was like, my guy BP's picking Thud Hubbard here. Not doing it. Rongju's got some really good striking. His takedown defense is improving, even though it goes against my better instinct, and I want to take Thud Hubbard at plus 210, plus 220, whatever you get him at, by decision. Over 2.5 is juice to the gills. Give me Rongju. I'm going opposite. I think Rongju proved a lot to me against Cody Steele, who didn't really try to wrestle all that much. Got him down once, but did nothing with it. Decided to stand up with the man and get absolutely rocked. I think Thud Hubbard, he's a tough dude. Almost impossible to finish. I mean, you can finish him, but it's tough. By KO is plus 380 for Rongju, but decision's minus 110. I think I'll just take a money line. You can mix them in a lot of different ways if you want. I'll take Rongju minus 270. Parlay him up, maybe add some same game parlays with strikes. I think he'll land a lot of strikes in this fight. Very active fighter. Seems like he's come with a lot of confidence after the Cody Steele fight. Give me Rongju. Rongju. Hopefully it's not the wrong side because I'm taking Rongju. Next up, Charles Johnson versus Lawler Kavanaugh. Johnson plus 170 versus Kavanaugh minus 205. This is interesting because this line hasn't moved since Monday when I picked it. And I am Saturday. Joe loves Charles Johnson. Kavanaugh got signed, sealed, and delivered by Kenny Florian. Absolutely signed off on him. Kenny loved this kid. That scares me. That scares me. That makes me want to back off. Kenny's eye for the sport is the best. He's dominating right now. He's locked in. He's dialed in. He's picking winners. And when you get the Kenny Florian stamp of approval, like Kavanaugh did, it makes me a little nervous. It makes me a little scared. But I can't bet scared. I can't, right? And I'm not gonna. Charles Johnson.
Hello? Okay, this is Dog.
I'm dog locking him up. And slime ball leg 2. I think Charles Johnson's awkward enough. I think he's got enough weirdness and wrestling and cardio to make this funky, to make this weird. And I think he's going to fucking possibly win a decision over Kavanaugh. I think Kavanaugh's striking is great. I think his overall game is rounding out. It's not there yet, but it's rounding out. His striking is very solid. I think Charles Johnson's awkwardness is going to give him some problems. I think he'll drop maybe a round or two, and then Charles Johnson is going to win 29-28 decision. Yeah, I like the dog here. I like Charles Johnson. That's dog lock. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not going back on it. Kenny Florian like Kavanaugh. Gave him his stamp. Gave him the OKF approval. Not even think about it. Not even thinking about it. Not even thinking about it right now. You know what I mean? Not doing it. Not me. Not me. Next up, Mashishate. Plus 110 versus Gage Young. Minus 130. So Gage Young, this is a guy who debuted in the UFC on short notice. And I had to go back and go, hang on a second. Did I see this guy fight? Right? He's a little unforgettable, in my opinion, right? He lost to Quillen Scalagid on the Dana White Contender Series. He got taken out 9 times, right? And then in his fight in the UFC where he got caught on short notice, he fought Evan Elder, which was kind of a dogfight. Evan Elder, landed a lot of strikes, and Gage Young took them well. Young kid, young enough. G Money is the nickname. Technically 0-2 on the UFC banner, but we don't really count the Contender Series as a loss under the UFC banner. Tough, durable guy, and he's getting the favorite here. He's going against Machishate again, another one-word guy. You wanna fucking play with these one-word guys. He was coming off a loss over Nicholas Motta, who kind of revamped his career, if I'm being honest with you. He does have a knockout win over Steve Garcia back in 2022. That is a great win. Then a loss to Hafiz Garcia. Slava Klaus knocked him out. Gabriel Benitez split decision fight, which I thought he lost. So a little up and down on Machate. Obviously, he's a Chinese fighter. You know, they're going to want to push this guy to win. My gut, what I have written down in my gut says Gage Young. I think Gage Young is pretty well-rounded. I think he's tough. I think he's durable. I think he can take Machate's shots, get it to the ground. But we're in China here. I'm going to go Gage Young. I'm not going to think about it too much. I'm not going to switch picks. I'm not going to officially switch picks. I'm going to go Gage Young. I'm going to stick with my initial gut. I thought about this fight a lot because I'm like, I've seen this Gage Young guy. He's a little bit forgettable for me. I know I've seen him fight at least twice. Little bit forgettable, but I'm remembering him now. I'm going to go Gage Young. I'm not going to... Gage Young. Can't talk me out of it. Sorry. All right, this guy's name. This should be fun. Lake Nurajai? Lake. We're going to go Lake. You know, road to the UFC, coming off a KO win on the road to the UFC. Big, powerful dude. I believe this is a guy that's from that thing in China where, you know, kids get dropped off to learn how to fight. He's fighting Kiefer Crosby. Lake is minus 440 versus Kiefer Crosby plus 340. Never been a big fan of Kiefer Crosby. Think he's just kind of average. He's got a lot of losses by submission. You know what I mean? He's an exciting fighter to an extent. Like when he engages, he's an exciting fighter. But, you know, I just never been a big fan of him. And Lake is a guy who rode to the UFC victory, which I don't watch road to the UFC. I did watch the fight. You know, big, powerful guy. A lot of striking on his record. Doves has some submissions too. Is a fucking finisher. Pretty easy for me. I'm going to go Lake. This is also slime ball. So Lake, double chance it just because I don't know enough about him. I wish I could pick one way or another. But Lake by double chance submission KO. That's what I'm going to go with. He's getting Kiefer Crosby out of there no matter what, I believe. So the slime ball parlay is Sue, Young Yu, Charles Johnson, Lake by double chance KO submission. That's plus 569. 69. Ever heard of it? Sex? Ever heard of it? Let's go. Lake throw to win. Sumu Darji. I got schooled on that one on the other. Minus 162 versus Kevin Borjas. Plus 136. I see people liking Kevin Borjas. Toughness, cardio, the Peruvian fighters. They always provide toughness and cardio. I don't really love how Kevin Borjas strikes. His striking is kind of odd to me. The way he throws punches, the way he defends, it's just a little. Sumajarji is a pretty accurate striker. He's long. He wants to strike. His weakness, and it has been exploited several times in his career, is when he gets taken down and he gets submitted. I don't think Borjas can do that unless Borjas has something hidden that we haven't seen, or maybe he worked on this camp. Maybe he's a savant. Also, maybe he's like this high-level black belt. He takes down Sumajari, takes a head and arm. I don't know. Don't see that happening. I think he's going to be old-fashioned, stand and bang him. I'm going to take Sumajari. Sumu Darji for the win by decision. I think Borjas is really tough. I don't think he's going to get knocked out. So give me Sumajarji. And let's move on. Sergey Pavlovich, the fucking polar bear, versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Plus 205 or plus 200 for Acosta, minus 245 for the big Russian Sergey Pavlovich, who I thought proved the Volkov fight. He went back to the drawing table. You know, he went back to the table and said, I got to do something better. This is a training partner that I probably knocked around the training room, and he just beat me in a fight, and I couldn't get a beat on him, right? He's very upset after that fight. I think he went back to his team. I think he went back to whomever, and said, listen, we got to get better. And I think he has, in his last fight against Jairzinho Rosenstruck, he mixed in some takedowns. Wasn't the most exciting fight, but Rosenstruck's only chance of victory is on the feet. He's a dead fish off his back. The big Russian bear took him down, beat him up, played with him on the feet, showed some decent cardio. I like that. Acosta, this dude's kind of hot right now. He's on a 5-fight winning streak, coming off a really good performance over Sergey Spivak, who got him down twice, but he got back up pretty quickly, and he landed 110 seven-finger strikes. Couldn't get Spivak out of there, who is known to be chinny, so I don't love that. I think that the power might not be there on the Acosta side. The speed, the athleticism, all that's there, but I don't know if Salsa Boy has the power to contend with a guy like the Russian polar bear. So give me Pavlovich. Give me Pavlovich by KO as well. Let's chase that number. That number for the boys. KO plus 110. Okay, we're in the plus money. I didn't know if we get plus money for that. I'm a happy man. We'll place that bet. You know what I mean? All right, co-main event. Co-main event. I sound so fucking Ohio, Pittsburgh right there. Co-main event, water ice. Brian Ortega plus 250 versus Aljo. Aljamain Sterling minus 310. So Aljo's gone up significantly since I made this. I had him at minus 245. He's my mortal lock. There you go. Can't ring it.
It's a mortal lock and I'm gonna wheel him.
I'm gonna break this fucking thing. I love him in this spot. I do. I think Ortega. How do I put this diplomatically without him getting? He's overrated. I think he's overrated. I think when he went on his run early in his career, he was losing a lot of those fights, and he came back and he won. I think he's a highly dangerous fighter. I think, I think he's tough. His chin is next level, at least he used to be. But I think he's a tad overrated. We haven't really seen him against a guy like Aljo who can grab a back, who can wrestle like he can wrestle. People are afraid of Ortega's jiu-jitsu. I don't think Aljamain Sterling is going to be afraid of his jiu-jitsu at all. I think Aljamain Sterling's so funky and weird on the feet, and Ortega is kind of slow, plodding, more of a boxer. I think Aljo has really good kicks and movements, doesn't get tired. It is 5 rounds, which is weird. But I like Aljo here in this spot. I like Aljo big, mortal lock. And he's my Green Hammer. Green Hammer by sub, Aljo plus 400. Let me see. This is unplanned. Let me see if I can look up on old BetMGM here. And if we can get the exact, that's PFO, the exact method of victory and see what that is. Because if Aljo wins by submission, it's going to be by rear naked choke. Fight props, Aljo, Ortega, fight exact outcome. Here we go. Aljamain Sterling by rear naked choke plus 500. You're only getting a point more, so just go by submission, unless you're really confident. I thought that number would be a little bit better, but when Aljo gets your back, it's a wrap, bro. How does he say? I can't say it as cool as him. He says it some way. I think Brian Ortega is a bit overrated, right? I see people picking him. I see people maybe flirting with them or whatever. Prove me wrong, bro. Prove me wrong. I like Aljo in that spot. All right, main event, even though Aljo should be the main event. I know we're in China, so we're getting this main event. Johnny Walker plus 295 versus Zhang Mingyang. He is minus 375. Mingyang is running rampant through the UFC right now. Big, powerful striker. But if you dig deep in that record, he has some knockout losses. And you got Johnny Walker who can't take a punch. This dude has traveled the fucking world. He was in Russia for many years. His brother married a Russian. I think his brother still might live in Russia. Then he went to, where'd he go? I'm sure he did something in Brazil. Then he went to Ireland. He married an Irish woman, was at SBG, and now he's at Extreme Couture. And he says the best career decision he ever made. He's explosive. He's powerful. He's huge, but he can't take a shot, right? And Mingyang is going to go out there and he's going to land shots. Right. And if you want to play Johnny Walker by knockout or something like that, I understand the price is probably right. Let's see Johnny Walker knockout round 1. Johnny Walker to win by KO round 1 plus 700. Yeah. I mean, and then Zing Mingyang to win by knockout minus 145. I kind of like Mingyang to win by knockout round 2. He's going to come out like a bat out of hell, but Johnny Hendricks, oh my God, Johnny Hendricks, big rig. Johnny Walker is elusive. He can avoid some stuff. He's been put out a lot in round 1, so round 1 is probably the best way to go. But plus 700 for round 2, you're getting a huge price dump after round 1. If Johnny Walker could survive 5 minutes, saying, we're asking a lot here for a guy who can't take a fucking shot. But if he can, that's interesting right there. I like Mingyang by knockout. He's my send him home as well.
Send him home early.
I mean, I'm no dummy. That's what I'm playing. I can't get behind Johnny Walker with that chin, but this is the time where Johnny Walker can go out there and silence a crowd. He does have power. He does have some really good athleticism. It's just that fucking chin. You can travel the world. You can go everywhere he's been, but if you don't got a chin, and it's sad. There's nothing Johnny can do about that, right? You can work your neck, right? When you see boxers doing that with the weight in their neck, you can do all that shit. But the only guy I know really who fixed his chin was Andre Arlovski. Talk to him. He had to have some kind of surgery or something. I don't know what happened. But yeah, Johnny Walker's going to get knocked out, unfortunately. All right, recap. Send him home. Zong Ming Young, Mortal Lock Aljo, and Dog Lock Charles Johnson. Slime Ball Parlay is Su Young Yu, Charles Johnson, and then Ty Lake by KO and submission double chance. That's plus 569. Green Hammer is Aljo by sub plus 540. 540, that's it. All right, sub to the channel. Go to 3PC, 3punchcombo.com. I'll be posting bets over there. We're going to kind of revamp the MMA takes form over there. It's not really, we're not getting a lot of traffic. We're going to do something different. Fighters over there now. Join up. Let's have a fucking ball. It's always improving. It's always improving. New fighters, improving the site. New fighters, improving the site. That's what we do over here, baby. That's what we do. We listen to the community and we provide. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. UFC China, 3 a.m. 3 a.m.